Because my father is an engineer, working at Ford is definitely a place where I feel almost part of another family. We're all flowing in the same direction. When I hear that we've won an award, it does give me a sense of pride that I know that I've contributed to a world-class product.
Tensions were high at this Beijing hotel on Saturday. That's where family members of the passengers on board a missing Malaysian Airlines plane waited anxiously for news of their loved ones. The Boeing passenger plane carrying 239 people on board was en route to the Chinese capital from Kuala Lumpur. It went missing near the South China Sea off of Vietnam about an hour or so into the flight. Relatives complained about their treatment by the airline, saying no one was in touch with them or giving them information.
Some people are crying, some are checking information on their mobile phones. There is nothing in the rooms except for some water, biscuits, and bread. There is nothing else. People are sitting in chairs or even on the floor because there are not enough chairs.
There were no reports of bad weather or an emergency on the plane. A Malaysian airline representative said on Saturday that a search and rescue operation was underway.
Our thoughts and prayers are deeply with the affected passengers and the family members.
Among the passengers were 24 Chinese artists and their families in Malaysia for an art exchange program. If confirmed, a crash would likely mark Boeing's deadliest incident since the American jetliner entered service 19 years ago. Tensions were high at this Beijing hotel on Saturday. That's where family members of the passengers
I love the whole front end, the proportions of the vehicle. The hood particularly, it has this very powerful presence with the power dome. Every time I see the Ranger winning an award, it makes you feel very proud that you were part of that. I'd say it's the most successful product I've ever worked on.
Friends and relatives of passengers aboard the missing Malaysian Airlines plane gather in Beijing. They face a tense wait for news. Malaysia's transport minister was denying Vietnamese media reports of a crash in the South China Sea, insisting the aircraft was still missing.
There are two issues that have been raised earlier, that the plane landed in Nanning. That is not true. The second point, that they found a wreckage in an island on the south side of Vietnam. DCA and also our foreign office have said that this is not true.
Malaysia Airlines Group Chief confirmed only that contact had been lost.
We are deeply saddened this morning with the news on MH370. Malaysia Airlines confirmed that this flight, MH370, lost contact with Subang Air Traffic Control at 2:40 a.m. this morning.
The missing aircraft had 227 passengers and 12 crew on board for the flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The passengers included people from 14 nations, the majority of whom were Chinese. The last contact with the plane was about 2 hours into its journey, and Malaysia Airlines says no distress signal was given.
I love the whole front end, the proportions of the vehicle. The hood particularly, it has this very powerful presence.